Hey, what's up, guys? This is Brian from Whisper Status 74. This is another video on Disney Plus. We are a few weeks in, and I was somebody who had it at launch. Did a video to show you what was there. Also, the second video was to talk about a little bit of the quality and how impressed I was with the HDR and the 4K implementation. And since then, we've talked a lot in the community. A lot of you guys in the comments, I've just gotten caught up with all the comments of the last 3 or 4 videos. Please let me know if I missed you. If I did, please resubmit your comment on either that video or here. Disney Plus. It has been enjoyable to watch. I have really enjoyed the content, especially some of the throwback stuff that I did not see that was there initially, specifically Darkwing Duck and some of the Disney cartoons from back in the day that, like this one here, Lonesome Ghosts, showing my age, that I've really appreciated that they've added. Very, very happy with the service. The question here is going to be, is it worth you getting and committing to? And that's going to be a little bit of an interesting answer. But it should seem like it's obvious. It really isn't, because there are many variables. However, there's also been many issues for many of you, namely audio. So if I could count on the community, which I love this community, I am so proud of this community that's so helpful and positive. Thank you so much for being as helpful as you guys are to each other. And it's probably the most non-toxic community on YouTube, and I'm so proud of this community. There's been issues with a lot of people having problems with Dolby Atmos. LG C9 is having stereo. Some people are directly into their receivers. They're using ARC. If you have any remedies to these problems, or if you're experiencing them yourself, please put in the comments the display you have and the issues in the receiver or the soundbar, and hopefully somebody in the community has solved it. Dolby Vision also was an issue with Sony not implementing it on their own. Same with Vizio not having that castable, which I think should be remedied. That's something that you guys should, or you should deserve if you have this service and you have Dolby Vision and or Dolby Atmos. I don't think it's something that Sony should have waited, or even Vizio. And I know the way to fix it is to just get a Chromecast or a Roku. But the problem there is, for a 4K HDR Roku and Chromecast, you can spend $50, $60 on that. I don't think you should have to spend that in addition when you have brand new smart feature displays where they tote the operating system as being one of the biggest selling points for many of these displays, especially the Chromecasts. If you can't cast it, then to go spend another $50 after you've already spent a few thousand isn't something I think you have to do, or you should have to do. But unfortunately, I did see it on a Sony AF8 Dolby Vision, but it was through a Chromecast. It was very, very impressive. Saw it on a C9. Very impressive. Dolby Vision looks phenomenal. I like the service a lot. I think it's very good. There is a ton of content here. It all depends on who you are. If you are a person who loves Disney, you're all set. There is tons of content here. They're releasing new stuff every day. Again, the first day there was very few of these Mickey Mouse through the years, and now they add them every day. I love these old cartoons. They take me back. The animation, by the way, you can just look at this tile. That animation there versus that one is not even close. The animation back in that time, even with Tom and Jerry, Woody Woodpecker, just said Woody Woodpecker, Disney, Looney Tunes, their animation, they were basically paintings. They were exquisite. The difference between that and that, unreal. But going back and seeing a lot of this is something that I value and I enjoy. Even seeing some of these classics here, obviously, Sound of Music, and some of these other ones that I hadn't seen since I was a kid. It's great to have them. There's also a lot of films like this, you know, these Miracle, the things that I don't even care about. There's a lot of that that's in the middle of it. So be mindful of that, that while it looks like there's a lot of content, it really depends on what you guys value and want to see. There is a ton of filler in here that's mixed up. So for me as a dad, as you can see, my kids put the dude from Tangled as my profile as daddy. There's a lot of content. My daughters are 8 and 11. They enjoy the cartoons. They like this stuff, this crap, Descendants. Crap, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that. They like a lot of this stuff. And they're getting into it. Darkwing Duck, so happy that it's here. Things like that have made me smile. Things that they've just thrown in that I was looking for that are here. Great. I enjoy that. I think it's awesome. The 4K Ultra HD selection is decent. As you saw from HD TV Test, Vincent did Star Wars and found out that it wasn't really 4K or it wasn't full HDR. Most of us figured that anyway. Avatar is not in 4K, but looks very good. It's a streaming service. It's going to be a while to see a lot of true HDR and true 4K. You're going to have a lot of up conversions. So seeing this, yes, it's disappointing, but it's nice to have it. I was happy to have these available, to be honest, and I'm happy to see that they're here. And even if they are up converted, and even if the HDR isn't accurate, I still enjoyed seeing it. I enjoyed it. I'm happy to have them all here. I have all the physical media, not that one. I have all the physical media of all of these. It's nice to have all of these in one place. Even things that many of you have never seen before that do fill a lot of the canon, be it Rebels or the Clone Wars. It's nice to have. Mandalorian, I like it. I don't love it as much as many people. I do like it. Its Dolby Vision looks phenomenal. There's a lot of Dolby Vision. So with that content, there is a lot. But it is Disney through and through. You're not going to find any real gritty films here, any true crime. That should seem obvious, but Disney has a lot of studios under their, obviously their corporation. So I would want to see in the future, if you want to really be a streaming service, is to offer a adult-only tab. Even if you have to clock into it, where you can watch some gritty stuff. True crime, I love that kind of stuff. So Netflix will never go away. Prime will never go away. I also, other than the issues with Dolby Vision and Sony and Vizio with the Chromecast, the audio issues, I've had no problems with it. No problems logging in, no problems of dropping off. I have fully enjoyed it. But the content to me is a little bit thin as far as things I would personally enjoy. So if you're in your early 20s, you didn't grow up with a lot of these old cartoons, maybe the Pixar stuff, I've seen a million times. I don't need to see them again. And unfortunately, and this is just my opinion, as the quality dissipates, as a lot of these, I have no desire to watch Finding Dory again. As they get into this sequel thing, I don't really care to see them. To me, Pixar and those companies, they were undefeated. I watched them over and over. Not so much with Wreck-It Ralph 2 or the sequels to a lot of these films I don't need to see again. Iron Man 3. So I'm less interested in Marvel myself going forward. This would have been very valuable a few years ago, but I'm not super interested in Captain Marvel and what happens next, or a lot of this content, but I do like it. High School Musical, there's a lot of this stuff here. Even in National Geographic, which I like and I've loved for years, Free Solo's great. A lot of this is their shows, which I could care less about. I'm not a big reality TV guy. I rather see your documentaries. I rather see stuff like this. These kinds of, even the Animal Planet kind of stuff, their documentaries, their nature things. This stuff I'll watch all day. Not that, but things like this, space, nature, all day long. Put as much of that on as you can. Hopefully there will be more and more and more. Marvel, yeah, it's fine. It is what it is now. It's been kind of played out. There's so much of it. Star Wars, again, happy it's up converted. Pixar's Pixar. A lot of stuff that you've already had. I do still recommend it if you like Disney and have children. If you're not a huge fan, I wouldn't recommend getting it for just The Mandalorian. They are releasing things episodically. It's not going to be all binge. You're going to see streaming services stop that. I think Netflix is also going to get back into releasing things one at a time. As HBO has shown, it makes it a little bit harder to cancel if you're waiting week to week. A lot of you do not like to pay for content and not get it all at once. I completely agree with that. It reminds me of video games with season passes, primarily fighting games, where you pay the $30 and you get things little by little. There's one thing I am going to rant on real quick that I think should not be on here. I was very much looking forward to The Jungle Book. I actually like this film. I love the way it looks. Love the original cartoon. But my daughter, we sat down, she fired it up, and I was like, okay, 4K, awesome, I'll watch. And then I looked and it said, coming soon to Disney Plus, Due to existing agreements, this title will be available on May 30th, 2021. Now, that's reasonable. They have deals with, I'm sure there's more than this on there. I haven't found any more yet. Let me know if you do. The problem is you cannot put this as filler, as being content that's there. I know it's nitpicking, there's a lot of content, but there better not be a lot of these hidden in here. This is a big release. It is something that a lot of us that are into visual would really like to see, especially in 4K. I have the Blu-ray. I don't even know if the 4K has been released yet, and that might be part of it. But don't have filler like this. To me, that's sneaky. I don't want to see that. My other big issue with it, and this is a shout out to Mr. Pedro in Puerto Rico, is not offering it in regions like Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is part of the United States, and it did hurt his feelings, and it bothered him. And it bothers me that it's not available there. I know it's not available in other countries just yet, so hopefully it's refined by the time it gets to you guys. But for the Disney execs, Puerto Rico is in the United States, just to let you guys know, or not let you guys know, but let the Disney execs know. They should not have to see that and say it's not in their region. I don't love that. So Mr. Pedro, shout out to you. Hopefully it gets out there soon. But other than that little rant, I have liked it. It's not going to be for everyone. Like I said, streaming services, unless Netflix has everything. Kids, movies, thrillers, horror, obscure animation. So yes, this hurts Netflix because it takes away Disney properties from them, but it'll never wipe it out because it's only going to be Disney. We'll see where it goes from here. I really like it. I think I could easily do without it. Mandalorian is the only thing on here that I'm like, okay, I have to see that. That's cool. But other than that, it's all great Disney stuff. I am a huge Disney fan. I don't love everything that they do. I don't love their politics and things that they're forcing for a lot of people as far as changing content. We'll see what they do as far as original content. I love that company. I love what they've done. We'll see where they go, though. But for a few weeks in, the last video I do on it in a while, it's definitely a B. I'll give it a B out of a letter scale. A being the highest. I'll give it a B. Great content. It all looks great. There's a ton of it. It's just not very diverse in terms of genre. It is Disney, after all. I know that sounds like common sense. You shouldn't need a Fire Stick or a Roku to enjoy it if you have a smart TV. I've watched it on many different displays. I enjoy it most on a 1080p projector. But it's very good. Great Dolby Vision. Great sound when it works. I'm very happy with it. I do fully recommend it. Take advantage of the free month. Go through Verizon. There's a couple other deals. Check your carrier for your phones. Check your work. There are a lot of bundles out there that you can take advantage of. I have enjoyed it. Again, though, I'm through most of the content. Little things popping up, though, like Darkwing Duck. They're going to keep me watching. I'm glad I have it. I just don't really need it. I would be really bummed if I got rid of Netflix or even Amazon Prime. But hey, it just started. Like a lot of these streaming services, it takes a while to get all the things ironed out. But it's very good, and I do recommend it. It's just not something you absolutely need. Nothing immediate is, but it's good. All right, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Please help those that need help with their audio or their visual. I really do appreciate all the support and help to not only me, but this community. Thank you so much for being part of the community. If you are not part of the community, think about joining the community. Please sub and like and share. Hope everyone is doing amazing. Let me know what you think about the service, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much.